He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Bain, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor. My name is Don Bain, and I am the Gadget Professor. What a week! What an insane week! I got back from NAB late Thursday night, and it's been pandemonium ever since. If you're new to the Gadget Professor, I'd like to welcome you and thank you so much for tuning in. We put out a new show every Thursday evening, Arizona time. And if you're old to the Gadget Professor, welcome back. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned, I think last week or the week before last, I was checking my stats, and it looks like we're up to 162 countries around the world. So thank you so much to my audience. I really appreciate your viewership. I really do. Thank you. First of all, before we even get started with all the how you tune in and everything, my heart, my condolences go out to everybody in Boston. As you know or may not know, the Gadget Professor lived in Boston for about 35 years or more, and I still have a house in the Boston area that I go back to. Actually, it's in Rhode Island in the summertime, but I'm in Boston all the time. I have been at Copley Place and actually the Prudential Center thousands of times. I know exactly where that was. I have many friends who participate in helping with the marathon. I know the person quite well who actually runs the Boston Marathon. I actually helped get that person his job many years ago. And I'm sick to my stomach about everything, but I must say I have to congratulate just the city of Boston. You know, the marathon is always a pleasant time, and it's a lot of fun. It's a celebration, and the entire city of Boston, and I mean the entire city of Boston, comes out for that, and it's just a real joyous, fun occasion. I used to have an office on East Central Street, which was Route 135, and we would have a party on the porch when the marathon would happen. We'd basically shut down the office because there's no way in or out after about 9:30, 10 o'clock, because you couldn't get in my office or out of my office because the marathon ran right in front of it. But we would always hand out water and let the runners or whoever else use the facilities, and it just sickened me to see that this has happened. But I have to tip my hat to the medical people in Boston who just responded instantaneously, and all the other people who helped the runners have a place to go home to sleep if they couldn't get back home, and they just opened their hands and their hearts, and I can't thank them enough. And hopefully by next Thursday we'll find out who did this outrageous thing, and we'll deal with that later. So again, my condolences to everybody in Boston, and also I applaud them all for doing just an incredible job, from the police to the fire to the medical support people. Just an astonishing job, and thank you so much for helping your fellow American. Thank you. Well, let's get back to business today a little bit. I have a good show for you. I have a gadget that I've been looking at for probably 2 years. Never pulled the plug until maybe a week ago, and I got the gadget, and it works really well. I'll show you it real quick. This is it. You have no idea, I'm sure, what it is, but I'm very happy with it, and it serves a really cool purpose. So before we run right into this, I want to tell everybody it's easy to get to the Gadget Professor. Just go to thegadgetprofessor.com. You'll find my webpage. On that page, you want to do two things. You want to subscribe to the Gadget Professor. That's in that little brown box right behind me. And also you want to subscribe to the show notes. By subscribing to the show notes every Thursday, as soon as the show is posted, you will find the show notes in your mailbox, in your inbox, and that highlights hot links, all the things that we spoke about, so you don't have to write down all these URLs. So that's real easy to do. And we are on all the glass surfaces. We're on the Roku box, the Boxy Box, Google TV. We're on the Samsung TV, pretty much the Zune, the iPod, the iPad. Anything that you can turn on and has a chip in it, we're probably somewhere on there. We have our own Roku channel, and we are part of the Tech Podcast Network and also part of Geek News Central. So if everybody got a chance to watch us on TPN, Tech Podcast Network, all last week, we We, myself and Todd Cochran, broadcast live from the Livestream booth, and thank you to the folks at Livestream for sponsoring us. That was a lot of fun. If you want to email the Gadget Professor with questions or comments on the show or suggestions for future episodes, just email me anytime, 24 hours a day, at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com, and I will be happy to answer. If you can't get enough of the Gadget Professor, follow me on my Twitter account, which would be @GadgetProfessor, @GadgetProfessor on Twitter. And you can also follow me on Tumblr, which I like, and you can also follow me on Rebel Mouse, which will be in the show notes, and it's rebelmouse/thegadgetprofessor, and that gives you a beautiful graphical interface of what I tweet about maybe 10, 15 times a day, all the new kinds of gadgets that are out there. So today, I'm going to get started immediately because I want to keep the show right to the point. The first thing I'm going to do, and I have never done this in the past, and I can't believe that I'm doing it, but a good deed can't go unnoticed by the Gadget Professor. Everyone knows that the Gadget Professor roots for all the Boston teams. I'm a big fan of the Boston Celtics and have been going to those games for, I don't want to tell you how many years, and love the Celtics. And I'm a Red Sox fan, and I'm a kind of a Patriots fan, although now that I'm in Arizona, I kind of like the Cardinals. In any event, the team that I dislike the most in professional sports, I'm going to lose half my audience now, was the Yankees. Whenever the Red Sox would play the Yankees, I just rooted for the Red Sox, and I always am happy when the Yankees would lose. And I got to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. If the Yankees game is on in a restaurant, I either face away from it or I have them change the channel. That said, I have to tip my hat to the Yankees. They had a moment of silence at the Yankees game in Yankee Stadium the day that the tragedy occurred in Boston, and I thought that was just a class act. So I thank you all, the Yankee organization, and I thank all the Yankee fans for doing that. That was a class act, and I really appreciated that, and it meant a lot to me. And now I'll be able to watch a Yankee game and feel that they stood up and did the right thing, and I really appreciate that. So there you go. Okay, let's talk about some business. Yesterday, American Airlines shut down for pretty much the whole day after they had a computer problem. And let me tell you, that affected hundreds of thousands of people across the United States, and they are feeling the reverberations of that for many days to come, because if you missed your flight and it's gone and it's canceled, they just don't pull that plane out and start you over again. So you've been stranded somewhere, and maybe that flight's full because other people were normally booked on the next day. So we depend a lot upon computers for our everyday living, and it's almost scary to me how much we do depend upon that for the transfer of data and everything else. But if you want a good read, just Google American Airlines resumes flights after computer problem. It's shocking. Another thing that we'll talk about today is ThinkGeek. Now, they have a really cool gadget. It's called an RFID, radio frequency ID, blocking wallet. A lot of people don't know this, but your credit cards today are coming through, the new ones for sure, are coming through with these chips. And these chips actually have wireless capabilities. So this type of wallet, and you can get them for a man or a woman, it's more comfortable than the aluminum foil wallet that they have. And the reason they have aluminum foil is because it won't allow the scanner devices or some crook to kind of walk by and scan your credit card number. So this is built with what's called a Faraday cage, which is basically an electronic antenna, if you will, to block out the RFID transmission. So as that thing's beaming out the data and information about where you are, what you buy, where you live, all that stuff, this wallet's actually blocking that transmission. There's room for 6 credit cards, cash, ID, and business cards. It's made from very high quality leather, and you could read more. This will be in the show notes. It's $19.99. We'll call it an even 20 bucks. You may want to take a peek at that. It's an interesting device. Another app that we're going to talk very briefly about, and this is a cool app. I actually used it last week, and it was kind of neat. I used it when I was in Vegas, as a matter of fact, and it's called Field Trip. It's totally free, and I believe it's available on both the Mac and on both the iPhone and the Android platform. And basically, you load this app in, and Field Trip is your guide to the cool, hidden, and unique things in and around you. Field Trip runs in the background on your phone. When you get close to something interesting, it pops up a card and tells you the details and locations. You don't have to click it, it's all automatic. It will connect to your Bluetooth, and it will even read the information to you. So it's a fun app to have, especially if you're on vacation somewhere and you're not sure what's around or what's cool. This app will tell you that. The next app that we're going to talk about is totally free. And if you ever wanted to capture your screen, what's on your screen, you wanted to take a picture of it, this is the perfect app. It's called Wolfcoder's Screen Snag. And Screen Snag provides a quick and easy way to take a photo of your computer screen. Capture the entire screen, a particular region, a window, or an element of the window with one single hotkey or click, and you can do that to, set whatever click you want, the hotkey. You can also use a timer, which is kind of neat, and it will take a picture in so many seconds. So if you want to do something on your screen and then you want to take a shot of it, it can wait 5 seconds or whatever you set it to. So that's totally free, and that's called Wolfcoder's Screen Snag. Again, it will be in the show notes. This next one I brought in because I'm still rattling from the Boston incident. This is something I think everybody should just have on your computer, and it's called Emergency Police Scanner. It's going to cost you 99 cents. It's worth it. You can listen to all the major police stations around the country and actually around the world. It's 99 cents. It's not expensive, and it might be a handy thing to have. Next, we're going to go to another one that I think is very helpful. This is called Help Bridge. Get help, give help, connect with loved ones. And I'm bringing these apps today because, again, if you had some of these apps and you were in Boston at the marathon and this horrible tragedy happened, these apps would help you keep in contact with your loved ones or your friends. So Help Bridge is a free mobile app that connects people to their loved ones and opportunities to help other people in times of disaster. With just a few clicks, you can quickly send email and text to coworkers, family, friends, and post an emergency message on your Facebook wall. That's a cool thing, all with one click. And you can donate money via an accredited charity if you want, via PayPal, or donate goods or volunteer your time. So I'm not going to get into a lot of what this does, but needless to say, the app's been around for a long time. It's an honest app, if you will, and I think it may be something handy to just be aware of and just load on your smartphone. Another thing, and I've preached this, folks, maybe 6-7 times since I've been doing the Gadget Professor in the last 2 years. I can't stress enough how important it is to have a mechanism to keep in touch with your family and friends when you don't know something's going to happen. And again, I'm going back to the marathon, and they actually cut the cell phone service, and there's reports that they did or that they didn't, but to the best of my knowledge, one of two things happened. Either AT&T and Verizon and Sprint and all those services actually stopped service based on FBI phone call because they were afraid that someone could trigger a bomb or something else, detonating a bomb remotely from the cell phone. So they cut the service until they were reasonably sure that things were secure. That's the first thing I'm hearing. I have read reports that that's not true, but what did happen is that the cellular network lines, because of so many thousands and thousands of people being involved in this, you got to remember that it's 26 miles. The race starts off in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, and ends up in Boston. That's a 26-mile, basically straight line, if you will. It goes up and down, but that's 26 miles of thousands of people cheering those runners on, plus the thousands of runners, not to mention the handicap runners. When that cell phone service goes down, whether it was by order from the FBI or some federal agency, or the other thing I heard is that there were so many calls that just overloaded and jammed and you couldn't get out, whatever the reason, you were out of communication, and that just scares the heck out of me. If you were to have one of these two-way radios, and I've mentioned this before, these walkie-talkies, you would be in communication. So if you have one, if you bring 2 or 3, one for your wife, one for yourself, or your girlfriend, your loved one, or one of your children that's old enough to operate these things, you don't need a license. They're very inexpensive, and the good ones cover up to 36 miles. So that means if you were in Hopkinton and someone was in Boston, that's only 26 miles. You have a reasonable chance of keeping in communication, because when something happens, you get separated. What if you had a runner who was, that race was stopped in the middle, and the runner was in Natick, Massachusetts. They still had 12 to 14 miles to finish, and they stopped. Their cell phone didn't work. They don't have their cell phone on them. If they stuck this in the back pocket or around their neck, they'd have a way to get in touch with you. So I put up 2 sites. I like the Midland brand, and some of the good ones, they're not real cheap. This one's $159. There's 2 of them, and you get the rechargers. Another one that I also like is Uniden, and Uniden has their own website. That's Uniden, U-N-I-D-E-N. It will be in the show notes. They have things that are refurbished, and they're very, very, very reasonable. Here's one. They're called GMRS radios. 2 of them for $120. Here's 2 of them for $119. Here's one that's been that's refurbished for $89. So they have tons of these out here. They had a 3-pack, $49 a radio. So you're going to get 3 for $150. They had some that are like new for $20. Same model here. So look through this page. I will have it on my website, and it's a pretty cheap investment. And I'll bet you there was a lot of people that wish they had these radios when that disaster happened. Here's a free app for you that I'm sure you wish you had. If you ever had a computer situation where you got a virus and it just knocked your computer right out, and no matter what you did, the computer wouldn't start, and you don't know what to do or who to turn to, and the Gadget Professor's not with you, you want AVG Rescue CD. Totally free. This will remove infections, repair files, and recover systems with a one-click solution. You got to check this out. You load it on a little stick, USB stick, you plug it in, and boom, it's going to start your computer and take off the virus. So check that out. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to show you the gadget of the day. I love this thing. I love this thing. Now, I'm going to show you the box on camera 2. This is what it looks like. And this is actually called, it's made by XtremeMac, and this is called the BT Connect. XtremeMac BT Connect. Now, this is what the device looks like. It's just a little black cube, almost like a power pack, slightly smaller. It has a little blue LED light right there, and I'm sure you can't see it on, but right there's an LED blue light that is actually shining blue right now. And the only other thing is a little mini jack, and that's it. Now, what this device will do is this will make any device that you have, any audio device that you have that has an input jack, this will make that device Bluetooth compatible. And this is really cool. Think about all the uses for this. For example, if I had a Bluetooth headset and I want to watch TV in bed, or I want to watch TV and someone doesn't want to listen to me watching the Three Stooges, for example. Well, I could plug this into the audio input of my stereo, if you will, and this will now make the stereo Bluetooth compatible. And from that, I'm able to transmit the sound through this device into my headset. Let me give you a more practical example. If we go on camera 2, this is the squeeze box that I love. And if you had a squeeze box, folks, you could actually listen to Boston WBZ if you had any internet radio, which is what I'm doing right now. Well, in the back of the squeeze box, there's a jack that says internal input. And I'm going to plug this device right now, and this radio will go off as soon as I plug it in. So now it's in the audio input jack. And now what I do, if we go back to the main camera here, I have my Nexus 7. It could be my cell phone, any Bluetooth device at all. And I'm going to start this up. And right now I'm getting real good sound, a little reggae. So if you go to camera 2, this is plugged in the back. It's automatically hooking into the Bluetooth here on Pandora, and it's wirelessly bringing the signal into the audio in jack. And now I'm going to plug it out, and you'll hear it will stop. So this is a really cool device. If you have a stereo in the house and you want to, it doesn't have Bluetooth connectivity, all you got to do is just plug this in. The sound is fantastic. No crackling, no popping. And what else I like about it is that it takes 2 penlight batteries, which come with it. And the cool thing is, you know, usually you get some crazy brand. We'll go to camera 2. Some crazy brand of batteries. These are Ever-Ready batteries, and they came with the device. So that was kind of neat. The other thing that I like about this device a lot is once you pair it or part to the device, and that means you've got to have this Bluetooth signal be recognized by your sending device. In this case, it was my Nexus 7. So I just put on the Bluetooth just as you would on your smartphone or any other Bluetooth device. And I would find this, the let's try it again, the XtremeMac BT, and it pops up right here. I connect, and this blinks twice, and it's connected. Now, what's really cool is this remembers the connection, and you never have to reconnect it. Once you connect it, it automatically finds the other end automatically. The other thing that's cool is I can connect up to 2 devices at the same time to this, and it will recognize both connections. So I can have my Nexus set up with this, and I can also have my Droid phone set up with this too. So very cool device, works real well. How much and where do you get it? Well, a couple things here. The price that I paid was $15. And then before I pulled the trigger, this company called Tanga, T-A-N-G-A, had it, and it went down to $9. Now, it's sold out, but what I've learned is I Googled it, and I found 3 other sites that are still selling this for $10. I will put this on the show notes. Hopefully, one of these 3 or 4 places are still selling this for $9.99. That included the shipping. That is a phenomenal deal. Now, I can't promise you that that will still be the price. It's originally sold for $60, which means either they're blowing them out, which is fine with me because it works well, or there's a new model that's coming out. Before I send out the show notes, Amazon does not carry this. You can go to the actual website, which again will be in the show notes, and if you click buy now, you can buy it directly from them for $60. So if you can buy this for $10, that's a good deal. And again, I can't promise you that they're still available because it's such a good deal. They're just selling out like hotcakes. So I hope you enjoyed the gadget of the day. I'm loving this thing. I'm loving it. I like it. And it's for $10. Yikes, what a great value. I hope to see everybody next Thursday with a new gadget. I have the gadget already chosen. I just have to test it out and make sure that it works. And I'll give you a little hint. It has to do with telephones, and you might want to watch it and know it's not Vonage. And it's a new device that just came out, and I have one actually. It's right here. There it is, and we're going to check that out next week for sure. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be safe. Have a great week. Talk to you next Thursday. So long from the Gadget Professor.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Bain, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.